Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are MC.
The Tigers came into the K with a mighty roar, taking Game 1 16-4. Now Danny Duffy will try and quiet Detroit and hope the bats of Butler and Hosmer continue to drive. It's the Royals and Tigers next. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Tonight from Kauffman Stadium, it's Game 2 of a 4-game series between the Tigers and the Kansas City Royals. And we come to you tonight from the Kia Diamond Club, right behind home plate. Steve Physiok, Rex Hudler with you. And it's really going to be a lot of fun tonight because we're with the fans, the great fans, with great food, and it's going to be a great fan experience.
Are you kidding me, Fizz? Call the cops. We're with the people. It's not every night we get a chance to sit in the stands, and I can tell you only a handful of times in my life have I ever sat in a crowd at a baseball game. I'm excited.
Danny Duffy's got one of the best left-handed fastballs, so we'll be behind home plate watching it sizzle in there with that great breaking ball as well.
You know, nice to have a perspective of the fans down here, and I'm looking forward to it, Fizz. But if Duffy's on his game, he can shut these guys down. He's done it before. He can do it again, and they're really counting on him to hit his spots and change speeds.
Last time they hooked up was 3 weeks ago, and Sanchez outdueled Duffy 2-1, but both pitchers pitched very well.
Yeah, no, Sanchez, he's very stingy when it comes to giving up runs, and the Royals know that, their offense, you know. But so you get some guys on early, you pop one out of the yard, you get the lead, you get the momentum, and you do what they did to you last night, get them.
The Wonder Dog is a fan experience. You're going to have fun with the people tonight?
I can't wait, Fizz. Hopefully we'll get a foul ball or two as well.
He's driving the bus tonight. And we come to you from the Kia Diamond Club, Tigers and Royals. Joel will be back with us right after this.
Rockies with the Tigers live from Kauffman Stadium, and the three Royals All-Stars, Greg Holland, Salvador Perez, Alex Gordon, getting their All-Star jerseys just a few moments ago here at the field. Now, we know Alex will not be in the All-Star game because of that wrist injury, but not going on the DL and hoping to be back right after the All-Star break. But the Royals feeling they're a little bit thin as far as outfielders go, so they brought Nori Aoki off of the DL today. He'll be in there in right field. 18 games with a strained left groin is what he missed. Rehab 3 at Northwest Arkansas. So no left fielder, but they believe all three of these guys can play all three positions, Aoki, Kane, and Dyson. But they feel best with Aoki in right. Kane will be in center. Dyson will be in left field for the Royals tonight. Danny Duffy is on the hill. Fizz and Hunter out with the people, and first pitch is coming up next from the K.
Baseball is brought to you by Chevrolet. Come in and visit the Kansas City area Chevy dealers and make your move to Chevrolet today. By the Missouri Lottery. Try the new Lucky Sevens playbook. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. It's a beautiful evening in Kansas City. We come to you from Kauffman Stadium, and Rex and I are right behind the Diamond Club seats. Absolutely great views of the field, and here's a look at the lineup that the Royals will see tonight. Jackson, Kinsler, Cabrera, Martinez, Hunter, Castellanos, Suarez, Holiday, and Davis. And on the mound for KC, the key is starting pitcher will be Danny Duffy. This will be his 13th start this year. Last Sunday in Cleveland, he lost 4-1 to Corey Kluber, even though he did not walk a batter in 6 innings.
Danny Duffy knows what to do. Follow Salvi's lead, keep it simple, and be happy. This guy's under control when he thinks that mentally. That's right. Fastball, he'll go 90 to 96, 97 miles an hour. A slurvy breaking ball and a nice changeup. Got to keep these Tigers off balance and keep them off the board early so they don't get any kind of momentum or any kind of confidence going. Defensively, Aoki is back. Okay, Nori's back, and he's going to get a chance to hopefully drive that bus in that leadoff spot. Dyson's getting the left field call. Lorenzo Cain in center. Hopefully, there's multiple bus drivers out there tonight.
Nori Aoki missed 18 games because of that injury to his left groin, and he was out since June 21st. He was only 1 for 10 down at AA Northwest Arkansas. What will he need to do to get his timing back?
Just take that first pitch and drive it in the gap and hit a double and stretch it into 3 and turn this crowd on here on Friday night. That's what he needs to do and get himself some confidence going early.
You're always pedal to the metal. Well, let's take a look at our umpires. The crew chief Bill Miller is at second base tonight. Chad Fairchild is behind home plate. Vic Carapaza is the first base umpire, and Adam Hamari is the third base ump. The Royals come in at 47-44. They're 5.5 games back of Detroit after the Tigers wore them out last night, 16-4. The good news about last night, it only counts as one loss.
Yeah, and the other good news is it's over.
Yep.
Yeah, they've watched that down a long time ago. Time to get out and attack, execute your game, and try to get some early lead. And that's going to be the big thing. Shut them down first. Because yesterday they jumped on Guthrie for 3 in the first.
Boy, our view is absolutely sensational. As we told you, we're coming from the Kia Diamond Club, located immediately behind the Bats Crown seats in section 126 through 129. So we're right behind home plate watching Duffy deliver to Austin Jackson.
Oh,
and he hits the ball to center field and deep, and that ball will be off the wall, and Austin Jackson will have 2. And much like last night, Jackson opened with a single, and he was one of 3 Tigers to score.
Sitting down here amongst the people in the Diamond Club, you can hear the sounds and you can smell the smells of this beautiful ballpark, but that was loud. I'm glad it stayed in the yard.
Well, the Tigers have been incredibly hot, winning 15 of their last 20 and averaging 6 runs per game. They've scored 34 runs their last 3 games alone.
They're red hot. Only thing that can cool them off is good pitching. Hit the spots.
Jackson with his 19th double this year. Ian Kinsler was just added to the All-Star game in place of his teammate Victor Martinez, who will not play in this series. Neither will the Royals left fielder Alex Gordon, who is slated to go to the All-Star game but will not play. And Kinsler goes after the first pitch and pops it back our way. It hits in the press box and then bounces to our right where we're seated. And Rex, this is an absolutely great view. It's so different from being about, I don't know, 100 feet higher.
I don't know why we can't do every game from down here. You know, but the thing is, we'll have to watch the back shots off the wall back here. So we are in the action with the fans, and it's really fun. Kinsler trying to get him over.
And it's past Escobar into center field. Jackson comes home for a 1-0 Detroit lead. Well, they're much like Kansas City was when KC went to Detroit. They're not only hot, but they've been fortunate. That was a ground ball that went by both Duffy and Escobar up the middle, and Kinsler reaches with the base hit.
And it hit off the mound, so it get a little bit more time. Escobar just gloved it. Didn't feel like he needed to dive for that, knock it down, but he almost got to it.
And here is Cabrera. 73 RBIs on the team. That leads them, and blistered the baseball last night, 2 for 3 with a couple of walks. Now batting .315. And this was after a very slow start in the month of April, and everybody was saying, what's wrong with Miggy? And then he hit .380 in May and said, I'm fine.
Yeah, early starts for guys like him, most people don't get excited, especially, you know, Osmus. Guys that have been around the game a while know it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this big fella here, ooh, he's the best in the world as far as it comes to hitting.
Back-to-back MVPs in 2012 and 2013. And he was the first man since Carl Yastrzemski to win baseball's Triple Crown. Did that 2 years ago, and we told you he sealed it in this ballpark at the K.
Duffy has a nice step-off move, and he almost got Kinsler with it. Kinsler knows well about that step-off move. Duffy's got him once, but he almost got him twice.
Cabrera tried to check his swing, but went, and now he is down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And defensively, they're all fanned out for Miggy because he goes foul line to foul line.
He does. Nice pitch. And the fact that The Tigers again, like they did in game 1, have come out and blistered his fastball. Salvi's going to have to mix up those first pitches. Going to have to mix them up, bring in his changeup, his breaking ball, and then use his fastball. But you can't just throw heaters up there to this hot offense like they are.
The wind is also coming out of the southeast, excuse me, and roaring out about 15 miles an hour. That last pitch awfully close, but Duffy does not get the call. Interesting numbers against left-handers, only batting .270.
He doesn't see as many lefties. He just used to raking righties. Great inside-out swing.
He rolls it foul. Duffy trying to get his first out after Jackson doubled and Kinsler singled him home. Tigers jumped on Jeremy Guthrie for 3 runs and sent 7 men to the plate in that first inning.
Duffy taking his time thinking about executing, and you have to make sure it's located properly.
Kinsler does not go, and the pitch is fouled off the right side, so he's pulled one foul and now sprayed one foul on the right side.
This Tigers team is well balanced, and when you have an MVP, 2-time MVP that's in your lineup, makes everybody else around you better. Gives him confidence. Kinsler, he's a different hitter this year with the Tigers.
I think Cabrera makes everybody in that lineup so much better. But he does not have Victor Martinez protecting him. Unfortunately, every time he's been up, it seems like in this series, there have been runners on. So they've had to not only pitch to Kinsler, they've had to pitch to Cabrera and the red hot JD Martinez, who's been waiting on deck.
Typically, in seasons before Danny Duffy's emerged this year as a solid left-handed starter, he would have his pitch count taxed early by high fastballs because he would try to blow the ball by everybody, and after the first innings he'd have 25-30 pitches. Now he's really mixing them.
He strikes out Miguel Cabrera. It took a long time to get him, but he gets his first out of the game.
Pretty good depth to this. That starts way out in the left-handed batter's box and ends up inside the right-handed batter's box.
88 degrees at first pitch and the wind blowing out. They say 7, but we're looking at the flags, and that's got to be at least 15 miles an hour. JD Martinez, this guy has absolutely turned things around, and he might be their MVP right now, and he can get some help from that wind.
Well, the fact that Victor Martinez is having a great season and a tremendous hitter himself has been out and might be out for a while with a little rib contusion or a little rib injury. They haven't called it exactly an oblique strain, but this guy has protected Miguel Cabrera. JD Martinez has done a great job stepping in.
And he was released by the Houston Astros at the end of spring training, and anybody had a chance to get him. But because he had a very average season last year, the Tigers took a chance after they lost Andy Dirks, and Martinez has been outstanding. That's why I say he might be their MVP, because most valuable. They needed help from a corner outfielder, and JD has done more than that. And he used to be a dead pull hitter, but 8 of his 12 home runs, Rex, have come to either center field or right center field.
He worked on it in the offseason. And then all he needed was an opportunity.
Hosmer has to climb the ladder to keep that from going into the stands. Let's go back to May 3rd when Danny picked off Ian Kinsler at first base.
Kinsler, he reacted a split second too late, and you got to go. He's a little more on his toes now. And they all know Salvi will throw behind you if you're a base runner. It doesn't matter what base it is.
Salvi picked off a couple of Rays in that recent series. The Royals took 2 of 3, and it was Salvador Perez's 9th inning home run that won it and sent the Royals home happy. Kinsler goes, pitch is swung on and missed. Throw to second base is way high, and Martinez will strike out, but Kinsler moves into scoring position with the steal.
A little bit late on the swing. Salvi had no chance. Kinsler with an excellent jump. Wow, Fizz, looking at some of the food they're bringing down here to the people's making me hungry.
That was a mighty delicious looking hot dog. Now, the veggie dogs, I understand, are also great. Where's he? He and Kinsler at second base with his lead, and Torrey Hunter with a swing and a miss. Torrey had a terrific game last night, 3 for 6, and one of the longest home runs we have seen in a while. It was a blast over the Royals bullpen and into the stairwell that goes up towards the Hall of Fame. He now has 12 this year and 52 RBIs. 0-2.
You mind telling me what a veggie dog is?
It's got nothing but good stuff in it, Hud. It's got broccoli. It's got spinach. It's got beans. It's got all the things that you lack in your diet.
Thank you. I might have to try one later.
Well, Danny Duffy goes up the ladder to Torrey Hunter, strikes out 3, but gives him a double, a single, and a run in the inning. 1-0 Detroit. Night's 16-4 loss, and Detroit right now with a 5.5 game lead over second place Kansas City, and Cleveland 2 back of the Royals. And here's the Midwest Ford dealers batting order. Aoki back in the lineup. Kane goes number 2 tonight after he had success in the leadoff role, and Eric Hosmer moves back to 3.
Yeah, it's a good spot. Any one of them guys. Just try to get a big hit off this guy because he's been very stingy when it comes to giving up runs. In 6 starts versus Kansas City, Sanchez hasn't allowed more than 1 run in any of those starts. 4-2 in his career with a 1.04 ERA. Tough to touch, but he got touched last game. His last outing he got beat.
You see those 3 starts. He's allowed 13 runs in 18 innings. but he does have electric stuff and had tremendous stuff in his last start, and that was a loss Saturday 7-2 to the Tampa Bay Rays. Rex, he took a no-hitter into the 5th inning before the Rays recorded 6 hits in his final 8 at-bats. Aoki grounds out for out number 1.
Talk about the addition of Ian Kinsler at second base, but Rajai Davis in left has added a nice spark. This guy, he's a veteran player. He's got great speed. He runs the bases hard. He can hit lefties and righties, and he throws that ball, as you can see. He's a veteran. Great sense of humor. A nice add in a clubhouse. A guy that can laugh, crack jokes. That's a needed commodity in clubhouses.
Well, that was the change they made from last year. Not only the character, but the speed. Davis and Kinsler brought speed, even though they lost terrific power with Prince Fielder traded to Texas. Lorenzo Cain, he was 0 for 5 last night, but 4 times up, he really struck the ball sharply.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Kansas City Royals will be looking at a 2-seam, 4-seam cutter fastball. He'll go 91 to 95. There's that 2-seamer. Good sink. He's got a really good curveball. Excellent changeup. He'll throw to lefties and righties. So he's got 4 nice pitches, and he's a smart guy. Changes speeds well. Hard to pick up the ball, hitters tell you. From him, he's got that little turn there at the waist, and he hides the ball before he comes out. It's hard to pick up his quick release point.
Lorenzo in 7 games has had success against the Tigers, hitting .321. Out of play.
Okay, see how he hides that ball? He's got a nice little hip turn. Can't really pick up that ball till that point there. Hitters like to see the ball whenever the pitcher shows it to him.
And now Lorenzo Cain with a ground ball to Castellanos, who will throw out Lorenzo, and very quickly 2 outs for Kansas City in the bottom of the 1st inning. Your Kansas City Honda dealers bring you the MTP of the game, the most trusted player, brought to you by the most trusted brand, Honda. And Eric Hosmer has been that guy recently with home runs in back-to-back games.
Wow, was that loud, or was that just my ear set here? I mean, that's what you want. That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, he's been stroking the ball well. 10-game hit streak, batting .410 in that span. 16 for 39. But one thing that really impresses you, you told me last night, Rex, the number of walks he's received recently.
You got to have those. You're seeing the ball more. You're making the pitcher throw strikes. You're calmer. He's been a lot quieter as far as his body. A lot of moving parts in Eric Hosmer's swing, and folks know that.
I remember Royals Hall of Famer George Brett telling the guys last year, hey, if you get 1 walk a game, that means you're 1 for 3. That's the difference in a .250 batting average if you're 1 for 4 and .333.
Better believe it. You get a walk and a knock in a ball game, and your average is going to be good. You're going to hit over 300.
Hosmer takes a strike, but a favorable count at 3-1. And but I just saw some nachos roll by me here at the Kia Diamond Club, and oh, my stomach's grumbling. I want those. That is ripped to right field, and he continues to strike the ball sharply. Eric not stopping at first, going to second. He is there with a double.
Going hard out of the box. That's what gets you that double. That's a nice located pitch. It's down and in. Hosmer red hot. Pulls on it. Sees the ball in front of him. Says, you know what? I can beat that. Gonna have to make a perfect throw to get me. Phantom cam shows you great head position, staying down on the ball, and he hit through it, because you could show on that Phantom cam how he hits through the ball and his hands don't roll over till after contact.
Rex, do you think it's more plate discipline, the mechanics with Eric?
Absolutely. He's got to just see his own pitch. He knows what to do. We're pretty deep into the season now. These guys got over 200 at bats. It's all about hunting out your pitch.
Salvador Perez will try and tie it, and he hits it foul. Now he's down in the count 0-2.
Take a look at the hands. We have a great shot with this Phantom cam. It's through the ball, and they didn't even roll until they got up over his shoulders. Very hot swing.
Love to see that guy dirty in the first inning. He is in the game, and Salvador Perez, who was the star of their last win on Wednesday night with that 9th inning home run to beat Tampa Bay 5-4. Upstairs 1-2, and that was his 12th career go-ahead home run. Orioles trailed by 2. They won by 1.
Yeah, I was saying that they got over 200 at bats. They have over 300. 373 at bats Hosmer has coming into the game tonight.
Plays every day.
That's a plenty of at bats to find yourself, and fortunately he's starting to do it.
That last pitch caused a little bit of pain for Salvador. He came out of the batter's box shaking his right hand after he reached for a pitch down and away.
Ouch. And if we had a Phantom cam shot of that one, it would show you the vibration of that bat all the way down through the fingers.
Again, Sanchez goes away and backs off his usually low to mid 90s fastball to 87 miles an hour for a 1-2 count. Broken bat, blooper into center field. That will drop. Hosmer will score, and we are tied at 1.
Perfect time to let your bat die a hero on that one. He battled it, fouled off many pitches, tried him up and in. It took his bat, but not before he got a knock and a stake attached to it. Perfect, ties it up.
Rex, I really have to credit Eric Hosmer, because when he got that double, he got it out of the batter's box. He hustled the first, rounded first hard, and just took off towards second base. And Perez's broken bat base hit is able to score him because of all-out hustle.
Fizz, it's on. It is on tonight. These Royals have to be able to answer that whooping they got last night.
Here is Billy Butler, got his first home run in 88 at bats, launching a shot into the left center field seats. Got a high fastball from Drew Smiley and hammered it out. A strike on the outside corner. Billy has always had good numbers against Detroit. Came in hitting over 320 with now 11 home runs against the Tigers. Sanchez has allowed only 3 home runs this year in almost 90 innings, so he does have an uncanny ability to keep that ball down.
He does, but like any other pitcher, they make mistakes, and it's up to the hitter, if you're going to have success, especially in a hitter's count like this, to hunt that pitch out and try to barrel it up.
2 of the 3 home runs that Sanchez has allowed have been struck by right-handers. 3-2. Philly now with a 5-game hit streak, and Slugger, we hope, visits us. He's just down. Well, he's in the Diamond Club seats. That's an exclusive area. He has free reign.
I don't know how much they charge you for your ticket, but I got in free.
In there.
Ooh.
Strike 3 called, and Sanchez dotted the inside corner, but the Royals get 2 hits with 2 out. One by Hosmer, one by Perez, and the Royals have tied it with Detroit after 1. Diamond Club, Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler with you. Joe Goldberg is somewhere wandering around with Jeff Montgomery. But this is a blast, Hud, be down here with the people in the Diamond Club.
Oh, it's been fun. I tell you what, broadcasting the baseball game is a beautiful privilege to have. But being down here, seeing the live action close to the field is special.
And this is what's taking place on Tuesday, the All-Star Game. Baseball's best gather in Minnesota for the All-Star Game and what promises to be an unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 3:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star Game Tuesday at 6:30 on Fox. Danny Duffy will face Nick Castellanos.
There's not going to be a greater Hall of Famer first ballot than Derek Jeter. So it'll be great to see his send-off in this All-Star Game. Excuse me, Amanda. Hey, we heard you got great food here. Is there any chance you could serve me and my partner up some? Hey, great. How about the veggie dog? Is there such thing as a veggie dog here?
I don't believe that there is a veggie dog.
There's not. Fizz, you lied.
No, it's the one with the broccoli, the spinach, and the beans in it. Well,
that's okay. We're hungry. Bring us the house special and put it on Fizz's bill.
Exactly.
House special.
And could you bring us some fish oil?
Thanks, Amanda. We really appreciate your service. Pepsi, too. I'd like a Pepsi, please. Thank you.
I'm going to go stay with my green tea.
Matches your teeth.
Oh, here we go. Danny Duffy with a 2-2 pitch to the rookie Castellanos. I didn't know you were going to do that. All night long we'll be coming to you from the Diamond Club seats, and great views to the field. And for the fans, we're down here. They've got padded seats for comfortable seating, in-seat service on select menu options. It's really a great time. And fans, it's not for just season ticket holders. There are tickets down here available for every single game. And you can get them on a per game basis or get your season tickets as Mike Moustakas throws out Castellanos.
So nice to be here. We're the greatest seats in the house. Of course, there's not a bad seat anywhere in the K. And I've had a few seats opportunities out here. All-Star game, I was down the line, great shots, but this is really special. This is our view tonight.
And John's giving you a look at the Diamond Club box seats, which are located directly behind those Diamond Club seats.
You know, it's a warm feeling down here. Now, I'm not talking about from a heat perspective, but this is a great crowd. You can feel the energy in it. This is a good night for the Royals to get a W.
Great fireworks show after the ball game. And if you're interested in being part of this Diamond Club experience, for pricing and more information, just contact the Royals Premium Sales Department. And their number is 816-504-4040 option 2, or you can just email them premiumsales@royals.com. Hey, Eugenio Suarez is the new shortstop. Look at that young man. A little bit low and in. So a 3-1 count to Suarez. And this is a guy who hurt the Royals last night with 2 big hits. But he was also able to start rallies. And this is the guy, part of the lineup that Duffy must control. Bottom of the order.
Yep, keep him off the base when the sluggers come up. There's nobody to knock in.
Danny with a good pitch and Haas with a nice play, and there's 2 out.
You know, it's also true that they say the closer you get to the field, the faster the game is when you get closer to the field. But for me, I'm fortunate enough to be able to play out there on that field. But it is true. When you're up in the booth where we are, the perspective there is a lot different. And now we're just down probably about 50, 60 feet down, but we're sitting down, and it's a lot faster. Folks sitting directly behind the screen, they are in the game.
Yeah, they're listening to the conversation between Salvador and sometimes home plate umpire Chad Fairchild. He might shout encouragement out to Danny Duffy. It's an experience that is much like. Do you have any green tea, Amanda?
See, Amanda, this is really perfect, but ooh, that one has more. That's great, but you know, our stomach's growling. We're seeing all the food, so just bring us something.
And my wife does not allow me to drink soft drinks, so I have to have a green tea or something special, something nutritious. Major kidding, as Eric Hosmer goes over in foul ground and makes the catch. A 1-2-3 second inning. question of the day. Brett Saberhagen posted the third lowest single season ERA in Royals history. Who posted the lowest? Was it Greinke, Hedlund, Nelson? We'll text A, B, C, or D to 432-432. And we'll give you the answer later in the game. And we were talking with the people during the break. Great Royals fans here, and they said, we're going to win this game, as they left for their seats down here in the Kia Diamond Club.
Well, not just the live folks that are in this ballpark, but it's the people that are throughout the Midwest that are watching. Fizz, and as a matter of fact, in Paragould, Arkansas, we want to thank those people for watching, tuning in. Marianne Williams and her girls support this ball club out there in Paragould, Arkansas. Thank you.
Way to go, Marianne.
Thank you.
Good off-speed pitch that strikes out Moose. That's back-to-back strikeouts for Anibal Sanchez. Now Sanchez will face his former teammate Omar Infante, who wore them out at Comerica. He drove in 8 runs in that 4-game series, and KC took 3 of 4.
He's had a tough time with his old teammate, just 3 for 21 off of him.
Chopper towards third, and Castellanos bare hands and throws, and it's down the line, and Infante will take second. That will be a single and an error.
At the minute he topped it off the plate, he knew he had a chance. Now Castellanos has made a nice play on the pickup, but he whipped the throw. That ball bounced and had English on it, kicked toward the third base line. So the focus on catching that ball was extreme, but he was able to do that, but had no chance on the throw.
Do you think it was a pocket ball that he should not even made the play on?
Yeah, but he's young. He wants to show the world he's the best. These guys are very competitive here.
He was expected to be an outfielder until they made the trade and lost so many at the beginning of the season with injuries. Andy Dirks was the outfielder, and then when they made the trade of Prince Fielder to Texas, it opened up a spot because Cabrera moved from third base to first base, and they needed that third baseman, and Castellanos came up in the minor leagues as a corner infielder and then moved to the outfield.
7th error of the season for him. And Dyson's got to be able to get a hit here. Now he's with a runner in scoring position, but he also has the bunting weapon. He can move the runner to third and also beat it out if he can touch it nicely and stay on top of the ball.
He squeezes that one right to the third baseman, and Castellanos is there for the catch and the double play, and that will end the 2nd inning for Kansas City. So he just needed a little more to get it over the third baseman's head. Is brought to you by Panera, coming soon to College and King in Overland Park, and by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit us at yourmidwestforddealers.com. Here at the K, it's game 2 of a 4-game series between the first place Tigers and the second place Royals, tied at 1, top of the 3rd inning. And we're having fun in the Kia Diamond Club. There's a family of Royals fans. We really enjoy it down here, Rex. It is a beautiful view on a gorgeous Friday night, and everybody comes from all parts of the Midwest to be here, not only for tonight but for this series, and then they get a great fireworks show after the game. Rajai Davis having an excellent season, hitting .289. Here comes the grub. Hud said he was hungry. Oh. Look at that. Is that the veggie dog? We've got Amanda here bringing us wonderful food, and we were just joking because there's nothing like Gates barbecue and Billy Butler's barbecue sauce, and thank you very much for sharing.
Amanda, thank you. Make sure he gets the bill. Thank you. we're gonna work it.
Nothing's changed, whether it's on the road or at home. I'm picking up the bill.
That's right. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you very much. Oh man, it's got bacon on it. Look at that.
Anything greasy is good.
Tomato. Ooh, life is good. But we have no room for it.
How is it with that green tea?
I'm going to give this to Doc. Doc, you got to be hungry. Foul back.
Good thing that net's there, huh?
You got that right. Davis down in the count 0-2, and Hud's going after it right now. How's it taste, buddy?
Solid. Love it.
And Davis again sends one back to the screen as Danny continues to go after him with the fastball. All Diamond Club tickets have access to the Diamond Club Lounge as well, and it's a climate controlled atmosphere that is perfect for socializing. So on one of those hot humid games, you can go in there and have a cold one, enjoy the game, talk to your friends.
Whenever a foul ball goes over the screen, and I don't see it much from the booth up there because we have it, you know, it's a controlled, it's a short, small area. Everybody watches the flight of the ball down here. They all watch it to see who can make the play.
Duffy does not get Davis to chase, and now the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Danny with 3 strikeouts. He gave up a double, a single, and has retired 6 straight since. And that is whistled foul, as again he went with the off-speed pitch. Hey fans, it's time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag KCFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. Danny with a quick pitch, and Davis fouls it into his home team dugout, and Anibal Sanchez had to duck out of the way. Anibal was at the very end of the Tigers dugout with his arm wrapped in a towel, and he saw this ball come ricocheting at him.
It looked like a pinball machine in there.
That's the other great thing sitting down here, Hud. You can see right into both dugouts. Base hit left field for Davis. Good at bat. Now you got a speedy guy on and a speedy guy up.
11 pitch at bat, he won it. Sir, am I talking too loud? Okay, thank you.
Rex talking to the fans that are directly in front of us. We're down in the Kia Diamond Club. Jackson doubled his first time up. Danny delivers outside and high, ball 1.
So it's a ball game. People come out and they yell if they want to and holler. We heard a couple of hecklers in a few ballparks that are really loud, but I'm not much of a heckler, are you?
No, not at all. I always told my kids, you can cheer, but don't boo. It's a hard game. And Rex, I say that because being involved, I mean, you played 10 years in the minor leagues, 10 years in the major leagues, and I broadcast big league baseball for 30 years, and all I can tell you is this is a hard game to play. I mean, to be a good hitter and to fail 7 out of 10 times, it takes incredible intestinal fortitude.
Sure does. Takes time, too. Not too many guys can come right in the league. Now, Mike Trout and Bryce Harper, they spoil it for the rest of the players. Everyone expects a young player to come in the game and have that kind of explosive power and those kind of skills, but it takes a long time to refine those. Ask Rajay Davis. He'll tell you.
He is now 33 years of age, but spent so many years in the minor leagues, and really he's only become everyday player the last couple of years. And Jackson with his second hit. Boy, they are all hot coming in here.
Well, they're not missing. That's what a hot team does. You can see guys swing on balls that are right over the middle and they foul them off. But when you're hot, you don't miss them. You hit them directly out there.
They had 19 hits and 16 runs last night. And as I told you earlier, the Tigers have scored 34 runs in their last 3 games. They swept the Los Angeles Dodgers, knocking them out of first place in the National League West. And so now Duffy gets together with his teammates to discuss how they're going to defend Kinsler, who is a good bunter, and he's also good at going to the opposite field, as we saw yesterday. Well, fans, come out to the K for the second bobblehead giveaway of the season tomorrow as the Royals host the Tigers. The first 10,000 fans to the gates will receive a Salvador Perez bobblehead courtesy of Hy-Vee and Farmland. Gates open at 4:30, so arrive early and get your bobblehead. Go to Royals.com or call 1-800-6-ROYALS now for tickets. Kinsler, dangerous hitter, 50 RBIs.
But fans, come and get yours, because I'm going to tell you what, I got mine already. Got it in my briefcase, carry it with me. And looking forward to showing it off, especially to my young kids when I get home. They'll like it. Salvi likes it.
That is tomorrow night, game 3 of this series. And for the Royals, it will be James Shields, who had a spectacular performance in his return to Tropicana Field. First start he had, because last year when we played at the Trop, it was an unusual situation where he was not slated to go. 7 shutout innings in a win on Monday. Breaking ball in there, a high strike called to Kinsler. Shields will be opposed by Rick Porcello, who's been pitching very well, and in June had back-to-back shutouts. Speed on with Davis at second, Jackson at first. Duffy trying to keep it down and locates it on the outside corner for an 0-2 count. Tigers scored in the first on Kinsler's single. Royals scored in the bottom of the first on Perez's single. And he chases a pitch away from him and strikes out.
Duffy had a little hair on that fastball there. Kinsler, he swung at that like it was an off-speed pitch, and that ball was blown right by him.
Well, Danny twice had looked back at Davis. And then finally he went into the full windup rather than that quick pitch or slide step. Now Cabrera, always so dangerous.
He's grounded into 12 double plays, make it 13 right here.
Pickoff play, and they almost got Davis, but they threw it into center field. Infante had the ball skip right off the tip of his glove and into center, and now it's second and third.
Can't roll a double play now. Rajai Davis, he looks like he got hurt or something out there. He's going to take a little bit of time off of third base.
Like the ball clipped off him, so an error on Duffy.
Third base coach Dave Clark had to take a little time with Rajai Davis. I don't know if he was winded or if he got clipped by that ball.
Rex, that's the Royals' 52nd error this year. 15 have been by the pitching staff.
It's an amazing number. I bet that's probably the top number of errors made by a pitching staff in baseball.
Oh, it is by far.
Well, they got guys that like their moves. They're active. Shields, Guthrie, Duffy's made a few. Wade Davis.
The pitchers only made 9 all of last year. 15 already and not yet to the All-Star break. And that ball stroked down the right field line. It will stay foul, and the count moves to 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera struck out swinging his first time up. He has been a monster in this ballpark, hitting .349 with 10 home runs at the K. Veteran now in his 10th big league season at the age of 31. Tigers signed him to a big contract before the year began. Tried to tease him upstairs, but he has great plate discipline.
Cabrera, one of the best in the clutch.
He was down in the 200s in April. Now at .381 and leading the American League. That's smart hitting. Aoki will make the catch. Davis will tag and score the go-ahead, and Jackson moves from second to third. But Cabrera just so smooth with his stroke, Rex. He didn't try and do too much, just got enough of it, got underneath, and hit the fly ball that the Tigers needed.
Yep, took advantage of the error that was made.
But with J.D. Martinez coming up, let's go to Joel.
Well, some interesting notes on J.D. Martinez as we get to know him a little bit. He's friends with Eric Hosmer, Danny Valencia. They're all from Miami. And then he has connections with a few other Royals, too. He was playing winter ball over in Venezuela this offseason. Saw Mike Moustakas and played against him for about a week. And then also Salvador Perez saw him in winter ball, played against him. And they have been all-star teammates at the AA level in the minor leagues when they competed against each other, and then teammates in the All-Star game, also teammates in the All-Star game in Venezuela. He is a huge Salvi fan. But you guys were talking before about what's made him so good, and Hud, you're right, he finally got a chance, but he did some major things in the offseason. He changed his swing, and one thing he did was he watched a lot of video, not just of himself in making the big change and lowering his hands, but he scoured the video of Miguel Cabrera, Ryan Braun, and Alan Craig wanting to use all fields, and he does that now.
Duffy throws low. Sal was asking for it upstairs, and that's interesting you should say that, Joel, because J.D. Martinez himself was watching video and then broke the video down in frames, and he said, I was through in like 3 frames, and Miguel Cabrera stayed in that strike zone about 7 or 8 frames.
Man, I'll tell you what, that is studying hitting. When you break it down like that, a lot of guys, they just want to see the ball and hit it and react, use their natural ability. They might watch a little video and see where their hands and their feet position are, but to break it down frame by frame like that, that's really going into detail.
And he's letting the ball get deeper, taking it to right center field, having a lot of success to center and right center, and he fouls the ball off here.
When you say letting the ball get deeper, that means let the ball, see the ball and hit it closer to the catcher's glove. A lot of times analysts and people talk over people's head because you say, oh, let it get deep, and they're going, what's he mean let it get deep? Let the ball travel, let it travel, and then put your A swing on it, and you can use the whole field. You can use the opposite field. That one there he was out in front of. Great pitch. Duffy
strikes out Martinez and then screams into his glove, angry at himself for his error to advance the runners and allow Cabrera sacrifice fly to give the Tigers the lead. And she's a volunteer with Dream Factory, and that's a great program, Hud. She's been with Dream Factory since 1995. Jean has handled all of the travel arrangements for the Dream families for many years. Currently the director of screening, Jean talks with hundreds of families and doctors throughout the year to help make children's dreams come true and ensuring dreams are granted. Jean has helped others manage dreams while doing her own and has managed over 180 dreams in the last 3 years. Way to go, Jean.
Oh, it's outstanding.
Royals bat now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Alcides Escobar is up. A single in the 2nd inning last night, snapped an 0 for 10 slide that he'd been in. Batting average right now at .283. How about that? Go Royals.
Good sign.
They're for both. They're for everybody. Straight back our way. Sanchez so precise with his command, and he has 4 terrific pitches: a fastball, slider, curve, and change. And because he throws them any time in the count, I mean, he only throws his fastball 45% of the time. Ground ball short. Suarez. 1 out.
Yeah, but one of the reasons that the fastball is the best pitch a pitcher can throw is because you turn that into 3 or 4 pitches. He sinks it, he cuts it, he 4-seams it, and then sometimes he'll just throw a BP fastball. That means just takes a lot of speed off of it. So you got 1 pitch and you turn it into 4, it really tricks the batter.
Sanchez now to face Aoki, who came off the disabled list today. Royals sending out Christian Colon, and that had to be a tough move because Christian had played very well in a reserve role and then got a couple of starts and played well. Got a hit last night. He'll go home, and we got more food.
Fizz.
Oh my gosh,
this is more what we're talking about. Look at that.
Salmon is pork chop.
What? That ain't no pork chop.
Oh,
Fizz.
excuse me. It's
What part of the country are you from? It's duck.
Okay,
how about
with a
duck
drive
that?
to right center field, and Nori off to the races. He will make it to second base with a 1-out double. We just get better and better food.
Seriously.
Good.
That's some duck right here. Oh, man, we got a little dessert for you, too, Fizz.
Oh, man. We got chocolate mousse coming in.
Nori, nice piece of hitting there. He got a high fastball. He jumped on it. Nori, what we've seen from him most of the season is an opposite field type of hitter. But all of a sudden, look at him. Look at the expression in his face. He said, take that. And he drove it for a double.
Royals need to see more of that.
As we take this, Nori took that.
That's what I'm talking about, Hud.
Now,
this is fine dining in the Diamond Club.
Oh, man, look at how tender that salmon is. That's a beautiful thing.
Copper River, I'll bet.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about. How about
Lorenzo Cain with a high fly ball left field. Davis, his back will make the catch. Nori was thinking about going, then backs off. 2 outs. Well, parents bring the kids out to the K this Sunday for Kids Fest presented by Subway. There will be stilt walkers, face painters, poster making stations, caricature artists, School of Rock, animals from the zoo, and much more. Plus, the first 5,000 kids 14 and under will receive a limited edition Slugger coloring book courtesy of the Kansas City Zoo. Gates open at 11:30. For tickets, call 1-800-6-ROYALS or go to royals.com/kidsfest. What an outstanding night. You want to do this again?
It's a good night. It'll be an outstanding night if we can get the lead and hold it.
There you go. Well, he will pitch Hosmer carefully simply because Eric has been red hot. And Eric with a double his last time up and scored the Royals run when Perez singled to center field. Eric with a sizzling home run, a laser liner over the right center field wall. And Sanchez pushes him off the plate by coming inside with the fastball. Aoki, good speed at second. Foul, and it's 1-2. What are you laughing about now?
You call that duck a pork chop?
Well, you know, I was actually putting down in my scorebook the information that was necessary. I just took a quick look and then I turned back, and then you're right, I saw the leg.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to chomp into this in the break.
You've been eating during the game. Don't tell our fans that. Grinder to short. Suarez has it. His throw in time, and the inning is over. The Royals leave Aoki stranded at second base, and we head to the fourth with the Tigers leading by 1. AT&T U-verse Rewind. We go back to 1991 when a guy named Brett Saberhagen threw a no-hitter. Fantastic experience, but that wasn't the best moment we saw in Kansas City. No way. In 1985, the World Series, Brett Saberhagen was there. He was the MVP, and it was the greatest moment in Royals history. Brett got his MVP and now joins us in the broadcast booth here at the Diamond Club, the Kia Diamond Club. Danny Duffy here in inning number 4 will face Torrey Hunter, who swings and sends one to center field, and Dyson is there to make the catch. So Steve Pizziott along with Rex and Brett Saberhagen.
Hey, you guys got the best seats in the house, I think. You guys getting food delivered to you. You got the I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure what's in those drinks, but I'm assuming it's probably Coca-Cola.
Oh yeah, no, Pepsi's our product here. Yeah.
Pepsi. I'm sorry about that. Pepsi, yes.
I'm healthy. He's not.
Fitz drinks green tea at a ballpark. Have you ever drink green tea at a ballpark?
It's good for your voice.
Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right on that.
Exactly. But here we have the Detroit Tigers in town, and it's the first place Tigers, the second place Royals, and you grew up in this organization. What was that experience like back in '85? We just saw those highlights.
You know what made it really easy for me to come up at a young age was Mark Gubicza being around, and how do you know Gooby pretty well? Just coming up and having somebody to hang out with. We roomed together on the road, and we roomed together when we were back here in Kansas City. Somebody to go to lunch with, somebody to talk stuff about, so we had a veteran team, but myself, Mark Gubicza, Danny Jackson, we were all really young at the time, so it made it nice hanging out with guys that you can experience that stuff with.
Oh, Lorenzo Cain makes another tough catch look easy.
That is special. Saves.
Well, who helped? You saw Willie Wilson do plays like that.
Yeah, Willie, he loved to watch him run. And he was so pretty to watch him run from home plate to third base, especially when we had artificial turf here. That number 6 too. Yeah. That really, made it look really.
Isn't it nice to have somebody run down your mistakes?
They ran down a lot of them too, Huddy. Thank God I played in a ballpark this big. Yeah, this is a good pitcher's ballpark.
What do you think about the renovated yard now?
It's beautiful. I don't even recognize it on TV anymore, except for the water features. They've really done a great job inside and underneath and stuff. It's a fabulous.
How about that high def board? We don't see any of them like it in the league.
I always say they're showing us on TV. I got a face for radio, not TV.
Now you know why Fizz is on radio.
Nice catch by Infante down the line. So, Saves, we'd love to have you stick around because we want to talk more about that '85 team.
Well, I'll be here.
Okay. We'll be right back. Tigers lead at 2-1. Saberhagen, three-time American League All-Star in '87, '90, and '94. 1985 World Series champion and MVP at the age of 21. He also won 2 Cy Youngs in '85 and '89. no-hitter, of course, in '91, and Brett Saberhagen joining us tonight. And Brett, you're watching us talk about this. Do you ever go, I had a pretty good career?
Yeah, looking back, it's funny because I played the game one day longer than I ever thought I would. So being in the big leagues for 18 years, 16 active overall. When I got to professional baseball out of high school, I signed out of high school, I said, if I can give myself 4 years and I'm close to making it to the big leagues, I'm going to keep pushing. It happened within a year. I played 1 year in the minor leagues, got to the big leagues. And then once I put foot in Kansas City, it was like, okay, if I can hang out for 4 years, that would be great. So I played the game a lot longer than I ever thought I would.
Wow, Save, you know, we have a camera up here. Show us some of your grips on your pitches that made you famous and had such a great career. Camera's right there. Show other people there.
I always threw the 4-seam fastball, and it's going across the seams because I could control it. The 2-seam fastball, I didn't have a lot of movement to it. Sometimes it would go this way, sometimes it would go that way. So I stayed primarily with the 4-seam fastball because I could control it. The curveball was always dominated with the middle finger, so the middle finger was always on the seam right there to pull down. And then the changeup, I learned this. I never had a good changeup until I got to Double-A. Tony Ferrara, actually, we were playing catch in the outfield. I was trying to knuckleball. Nice,
Salvador Perez with a base hit.
He's the man. Fun to watch him. I love watching him throw out a guy in Tampa Bay the other day from his knees.
Isn't he something?
He's special.
And he plays the game with such joy.
He does. He really does.
Save. So when you got a changeup grip, how'd you throw yours?
It's similar to a 2-seam fastball, but I just put my fingers here and I threw it like a screwball. So I pulled down. So I pronated. I just pulled down with it.
Okay, it wasn't a circle change then, like most people throw.
Circle change is, you're over here with it. And the circle change for the kids, where the fingers bend, they should be right on the seams, and you need to pull down with that. But always come down with the changeup. So if you're a right-handed pitcher, it's going to go away from a left-handed hitter. If you're a left-handed pitcher, it's going to go away from a right-handed batter.
Now, did you ever know hitters to watch your glove for tipping your pitches, whether you fanned it or you opened it? When a changeup, sometimes the guys open the glove. Were you aware of that?
I tipped it because my finger on a curveball, I was a finesse, so my finger would open up and flare. And when on a fastball, I grip my glove tight. So I had to put the finger inside the glove to keep it hidden. Yeah.
Guys sew a patch over that finger now.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I did tip my pitches from time to time. And then a couple times, I guess, Seitzer was over third base, wanted to know some of my pitches that were coming, and he was getting them relayed from the shortstop, and they were picking them up from the shortstop. So they're always looking at trying to pick up your pitches.
Exactly.
Both dugouts are always trying to figure out a way to see what the pitcher's throwing.
Right, and they want the advantage.
Absolutely.
The hitter wants to know what's coming if you can. Now, what we noticed with Salvador, after he gives the sign and the pitcher just gets ready to start his windup, he'll put his glove out to the third baseman, let him know breaking ball's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's too late to be able to relay that.
Right.
So I've been watching some of that going, he's given his first baseman and third baseman the off-speed pitch.
That's all. Yeah. If you do it real late,
you got to do it late.
You got to do it real late because these guys are good.
Somebody will pick it up.
Exactly.
They'll yell something but if you get caught trying to steal pitches or like that, then usually
you're going to get a dose.
Yeah. Usually, at least in our day, you got drilled. If somebody was cheating.
Somebody's going to wear it.
Right. Nowadays, it's totally changed. I mean, we hit one guy, and now you're warned, and the next guy's out. It's a totally different game. It's more policed.
I wish that the pitchers threw inside a little bit more, but for a reason, not to try to knock a guy down. So I love pitching when it was cold out. The colder the better for me. Guys, how do you know? You don't want the ball in on your hands when it's cold. It's the last thing you want. So the colder the better for me. Wear no sleeves. Show them, hey, let's just get this thing on.
Like it. And that's a visual body language sign.
Yeah.
And I talk about that a lot up here because that's the premium language spoken out there.
No.
It's body language. There's nobody talking smack out there. They read their opponent. You read them.
Yeah, we had a few guys that hated hitting in the cold weather, and I was like, yep, I love pitching it. That's why.
Mike Moustakas with a high fly ball to center field. Austin Jackson will make the catch, and Perez back to first base. Our Academy Sports and Outdoors look at from 85 to 1991. You were one of the dominant pitchers in baseball. And as we go back to that 85 season, and I've done college football and NBA basketball, and I talked to athletes when they were in the zone. I really felt like you were in some kind of zone in the 85 playoffs. What was that like? Because your ability to locate your four-seamer low outside, low inside corner was phenomenal.
You know, it happens, and there's no rhyme, no reason. It just happens from time to time. Yeah, and I happen to be, I caught a zone at the right time.
Can you explain it?
I can't. You really can't. But the thing, I think, going into that series against the Cardinals, and when we happened to go down 2-0, we were just in that boat. We to the Blue Jays. We were down 3-1. We came back. So we just experienced what we were going through again. So we basically say, hey, you know, let's take it one at a time. We've done it once. Let's do it again. So we had that confidence that we could come back after the same series against the Blue Jays.
Salvi got picked.
Hold on, we got a little timeout coming up here, huh?
And Ned Yost will come out to challenge the play because he thought Salvi was able to get back in.
Give us a look back. There you go. See if I love this.
Isn't it? It's all new this year. It's added some more strategy.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, Don Denkinger. You think the Cardinals would have been challenging that play at first base in Game 6?
Yes, absolutely. Honestly, out from the bench, I thought he was safe, but the replay definitely shows that he was out, and yeah, that would have been a good one to challenge right there.
So they will challenge it right here, and again, we're talking with Brett Saberhagen. You come up and you were talking about, we'll take a look at this play again. You were talking about being in that position before, down 2-0 to the Toronto Blue Jays. And Denny Matthews has said this many times. It is easier for a pitcher to dominate a game. But he said what George Brett did in one game against the Toronto Blue Jays, a position player dominated a game like no other he had ever seen.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Well, George is George, and you know he's a Hall of Famer. He's the best player I ever played with, but just he took you know, we were down and he just home run, double, driving in guys. He was unbelievable. I believe it was the Blue Jays was probably I think it was the third game. I don't recall which game it was, but he just had a huge game against us. He got us back into the thing. And then the big game that I remember is Sundberg hitting the ball off a right field wall, clearing the bases when their bases were loaded. But that series, I don't remember as much about that. I remember George having that great game, but I really remember the series, you know, against the Cardinals.
The Royals were able to take St. Louis in 7 games, and they continue to have the challenge here as they call the umpires in New York and have them review the situation.
Usually a little quicker than this, isn't it?
They try to do it within 90 seconds. We have seen some at 46, at 50 seconds. We've also seen some that have taken 3 minutes. And the call stands on the field. Salvador Perez has been picked off. Brett Saberhagen, 85 MVP.
Great to be here, guys. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks for stopping by, man.
Good to see you guys. Go Royals.
Royals baseball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. Check out the huge selection of F-150s at thoroughbredford.com. We come to you from Kauffman Stadium. Rex Hudler and I are in the Kia Diamond Club, and we want to let you know that Mizzou night is on Friday, July 25th, when the Royals take on the Indians. The first 3,500 fans who bring their Mizzou night ticket to the table inside Gate B will receive a limited edition black and gold KC Royals Mizzou cap courtesy of Rally House and Fox Sports Kansas City. Come join your fellow Tigers fans for a night of Royals baseball. Gates will open at 5:30, so get here early. To buy this exclusive ticket package, go to royals.com/Mizzou.
Because if you're not going to eat your duck leg, I want it.
You finished off your entire one, and I haven't taken a bite. I'm trying to listen to our great producer and director, Joe Libero, and Steve Kurtenbach, while you nosh.
We're not used to sitting down here with the folks, and some of the food they've been bringing by has really been delicious.
You haven't worked on your dessert, that chocolate mousse.
Matter of fact, I'm ready for yours, Fizz. That's pretty good.
How was your pork chop?
Oh.
Well, Danny Duffy back on the hill, and Danny has pitched very well in this game, but he made one mistake that broke the 1-1 tie. He tried to pick off Rajay Davis from second base and threw the ball into center field. That allowed Davis to get to third, and Cabrera got him home. Hornaday grounds out to third, and there's one out. Royals trying to even this series. Tigers won last night. They are now 5.5 games up on Kansas City, but the Royals not only chasing the Tigers, but they are chasing 2 wild card spots this year. They're trying to get to the playoffs for the first time since Brett Saberhagen led the Royals to the World Championship in '85. Flare to right. Kane comes on and makes a nice catch. And you can vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com/Royals, and you will be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House.
Lorenzo Cain is a future Gold Glove outfielder. He takes really nice roots to balls, direct roots. He doesn't take any wrong steps towards the ball or going back, and his speed is awesome. He's got great long strides, and everything that goes up in the air around him, you know he's got a chance to catch it. And for a pitcher and a manager, that's a special thing to know you have a player like that.
We have chronicled his story many times about never playing baseball until high school. And then the first thing the coach did was put him at third base, and he said, I failed miserably, but as soon as they sent me to center field, I felt comfortable immediately. And here's a guy who had never played the game other than, you know, with his buddies out in the sandlot.
When you have that kind of speed, you don't want to be restricted by a line, whether it's in left field or right field. When you're in center, you can run for days. It's a special feeling to be out there when you have that kind of speed that can do the job.
Let's bring in Joel.
Guys, I think it's interesting. I just ran over to talk to Denny Matthews. I said, have you ever in all your years of broadcasting baseball seen the 3 outfielders all switch positions in the middle of the game? He said, no, never seen it before. But with these guys, none of them really have a whole lot of history playing left field. And obviously Alex Gordon's out. Ibanez has a lot of years of doing that. But they started out the game feeling like Aoki most comfortable in right field. But he had 7 career starts in left. Kane had 2 career starts in left. And Dyson now, after tonight, has 2 career starts in left. They shift them all up, and would you know it, the ball has found King a couple of times.
And another fly ball struck to right field, and Austin Jackson having himself an evening with 3 hits. We started the night with Dyson in left, Kane in center, and Aoki in right. And then they made the switch, Aoki in left, Dyson in center, and Kane in right. A complete shift that Joel just talked about. But that's one of the reasons during spring training, Rex, we saw them shifting guys around all the time just to give them experience at every position.
If you're an athlete and you have any kind of speed, you can play anywhere out there in the corners. You got to get used to the angles and the way the ball comes off the bats. Left field, the ball, it hooks towards the lines. Right field, it slices, goes away to the line. Center field, it's more of a true ball. More backspin, it's straighter. But still, athletes can make those adjustments when all you need to do is, in batting practice, take the balls live off the bat. Take about 10 of them. You get used to it.
And I would imagine that decision came from Rusty Kuntz, who works a lot with the outfielders. And he said, I think we might get a little bit better look with Aoki in left and Dyson in center and Kane in right, and there's Rusty.
And his heart's really going a mile a minute, isn't it?
Rusty's so cool and so valuable for this organization. In the air, right side. Dyson with a long run. That speed gets there, and we are through 4.5 innings of play. Duffy's pitched well. Sanchez just a little better.
Cleveland, David Murphy goes deep, his 6th of the year. That was in the second. Swisher also homered off Hector Noesi a little bit later. 6 earned runs from Noesi. He has chased 6-4 the Indians right now, leading. Free veggie dogs for everyone.
Thank you, Joel. Well, look at that. That young lady is eating a giraffe. And we come to you from the Kia Diamond Club tonight. Steve Physiok, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. Omar Infante is the batter. Martinez will take care of it. Let's take a look at the American League wild card standings as we move closer to the All-Star break. Right now, the Angels have a 5.5 game lead. They've been playing some very good baseball, but as we said last night, they lost C.J. Wilson with an ankle injury. Jared Weaver not playing, one of their top pitchers, because of a back injury. Seattle right there at 49 and 43, and the Royals just a game and a half back.
Now, this is going to be a fun run the rest of the way. The Royals just got to find a little bit more timely hitting. I think the telltale is if they can hit. The pitching's there, the bullpen's outstanding. Defense spectacular. Timely hits have been dropping down.
And the guys that we have seen hit in the past, the Billy Butlers. Eric Hosmer had a wonderful last 4 months last year. He's beginning to pick things up.
The Royals were as high as 273 this year with runners in scoring position, and since then they've dropped down to 267. So they've got to keep that mark up. Support that pitching.
Hosmer with an 11-game hit streak after doubling in the first and scoring on Perez's single. And Dyson will ground out, and 2 gone in the 5th inning. Well, the Royals, Fox Sports, and State of Missouri are teaming up to help you stop smoking. For more information, call the Quit line at 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Sanchez continues to dazzle the Royals. He has never allowed more than 1 run to the Royals in any start, and he's allowed 1 run. It came back in the first. Royals had a great opportunity after Aoki doubled in third, but Kane and Hosmer made out. Escobar singles with 2 out.
So far, Sanchez is doing exactly what he's done in every other start in his career against these guys, only allowing 1 run. They've got to change that. 2 out base hit. Escobar needs to get on his horse and steal a bag here. Get in scoring position if he can. See the vibration? Not a lot, but there was some, and it didn't matter because that ball was a knock.
Nori drove one his last time up. We told you, coming back from the disabled list where he missed 18 games with a left groin strain. Escobar does not go as the Tigers pitch out.
They thought he would.
Brad Ausmus, a former catcher, managing the Tigers. Ned Yost, a former catcher, managing the Royals. And they play that cat and mouse game quite often. And Sanchez has already picked off 1 Royal. That was Salvador to end the 4th. Nori takes a strike. It's a 1-1 count.
Change up, breaking balls down low in the dirt. Those are the ones you hope to steal on. Tough for the catcher to dig it out and throw you out.
Our Toyota League leader shows that Escobar, one of the top stolen base artists in the American League, Altuve with 41, and then Ellsbury, Davis, and Escobar. Once again a pitch out, and now it's a 2-1 count. Very good running count for Esky.
And as a hitter, you know that you're going to get something firm because a pitcher wants to cut down the time. The ball gets to home to help that catcher out. So look for that fastball and drive one, just like he did earlier in the game. Actually, it was his 2nd time up, his last at bat, hit it in right center.
They are expecting Escobar to go. He does not, and the pitch is rolled towards the right side, but covered by Ian Kinsler, and the Royals are done in the 5th. America's import. Here at the K, Tigers lead it 2-1. But Tuesday night, fan, baseball's best gather in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the All-Star game in what promises to be an unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 3:30 on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star game Tuesday at 6:30 on Fox. 3 Royals will be going, 4 Tigers will be going. Ian Kinsler was invited today to take the place of Victor Martinez, who will not be able to play. And the Royals sending Gordon, who won't be able to play because of the injury to his wrist, and also Salvador Perez and Greg Holland. A strike on the outside corner. Cabrera has struck out but also hit the sacrifice fly that broke the 1-1 tie. He is a not-time All-Star and heading to Minneapolis once again. 379 home runs at the age of 31.
9-time All-Star. I mean, you know, I know there's some guys that have a lot more than that, but that seems like a large number for me.
Who's driving the bus?
Well, Mickey, obviously, 9-time All-Star. He's driven the bus many times, but we're looking for a Royal bus driver tonight. Young lady, stay tuned. We'll see it. We got some time left.
Danny with a high breaking ball that's fouled back by Cabrera. But this is a guy who had 179 home runs on his 26th birthday, the same as Henry Aaron, who set the all-time home run record before it was eclipsed by Barry Bonds. Boy, he tracks that inside pitch with speed and strength like nobody we've ever seen.
He's short to the ball. And like I mentioned last night, he knows himself. He knows exactly who he is. He keeps inside of that baseball and uses the large part of the field. That's why he always hits for a high average.
To third, Moustakas. And a high throw, but Hosmer 6'4", and he comes down in the bag, and that's a big out as they get number 1 here in the 6th. I've really been impressed with Danny Duffy's poise and confidence. He made the one mistake on the air on the pickoff play to second base, I beg your pardon, that allowed Davis to get to third, and then the sacrifice fly, but he bounced back well. And he's always had great stuff. Just 1-5 against Detroit despite a 3.6 ERA. Martinez 0 for 2 twice, striking out. Again, he's been able to zip that fastball by Martinez, and he has a 1-2 count.
It's a nice luxury to be able to have a fastball like Duffy's, as we see beyond the outfield fence there. The experience down the lines, people love it. It's got picnic benches, makes you feel right at home. And the folks are waiting for a Royals victory and then a nice fireworks show.
Trying to even this series at 1 win each. Detroit has held the advantage this year, winning 7 of the 10 meetings, but they dominated early, winning the first 5. Great pitch by Duffy. They say it was fouled off by J.D. Martinez and not held by Salvador Perez. We're right behind the play, so we couldn't see it until this replay, and it did bounce. So good call by home plate umpire Chad Fairchild.
Chad's all over it.
Another breaking ball. Now it's a 3-2 count. And he does not want to lose Martinez. A hot hitter's next in Torrey Hunter. reached for that one. But one of the things that I think has been so strong from Duffy this year, Rex, is that he's become a pitcher. He's less a thrower. Fewer pitches per inning. His walks are down this year.
He's figuring it out. It takes time. 2010, he was so frustrated, he walked away from the game. He was young. He had a few issues going on, like most people do, off the field. And he just wasn't sure.
He said he had to reassess his priorities back in March of 2010. And the Royals, to their credit, they gave him time. They said, go ahead, get away from the game. Well, the time off, he said he rediscovered his love and passion for baseball.
He did. And J.D. Martinez needs some time after that foul ball. Kevin Wren, there's not much you can do, and he knows it. Just give him a little TLC and pat him on the back.
Rex and I are broadcasting tonight from the Kia Diamond Club right behind home plate.
How can his buddies in the dugout be laughing at him right there? That's not very nice.
And while we have the time, let's take a look at our Sprint family results.
There's
of
Doc.
that question. Brett Saberhagen, who joined us for the fourth inning, posted the third lowest single season ERA in Royals history. Who posted the lowest? And only 11% got the answer correct. It was Roger Nelson back in the '72 season with a 2.08 ERA. 42% said Zach Greinke. So Martinez taking a long time to get back in there. And there's Alex Avila. He was smiling the most, but Rex, he's like a magnet, a baseball magnet, playing catcher, getting all those foul balls. And he struck one off of his front leg last night, that shin, and he's taking tonight off. Hornaday's catching. A strike right at the knees. Martinez is going to debate, but Fairchild says no. It's a strikeout, and number 6 for Danny.
That pitch is some cheese at the knees, and JD, you got to go. Tough at bat.
Torrey Hunter came in on fire, batting almost 500 his last 8 games, 16 for 33, but Duffy has been able to strike him out and get him on a fly ball to center. Fanny's 95th pitch of the night coming. Ground ball, short, backhanded. Escobar got him. 1, 2, 3, 6th inning. The Royals 6 will have Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, and Salvador Perez.
Come on, Hogs, let's go, boys.
Though lead the Royals 2-1, bottom of the 6th inning, and look at this crowd hoping fortunes will change for KC against Detroit here at the K. Well, the next 2 games tomorrow night will not be televised. You can listen to it on the Royals radio network. It'll be Porcello 11-5 against James Shields, looking for win number 10 this year. And then Sunday afternoon, Justin Verlander will match up with Bruce Chen. He was announced as the starting pitcher officially today. And the 6th inning, of course, is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Tanya Hirsch from Kansas City. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Tanya will win $700. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Tanya will win $25 grand from Sonic and the Royals. Right to the shortstop. Suarez right on the money, and there's 1 out.
Third time through, it could be good, and it's not great, but it's better. First, second, third time. This is the time to get him. Lorenzo Cain, he squared one up, but he hit an atom ball, and a worm burner is on the ground. Got to get some air. Look for some elevation.
It is amazing the success he has had against our Kansas City ball club.
Elevation for the hydration station for this guy right here. He told me that last year. He goes, Hud, I'm going to hit one in the hydration station. And I loved it, man. We got to run with that one. There's only one hydration station in America. Right here at the K.
He grazes the outside corner at 87. Precise location, and Hosmer with home runs in each of his last 2 games and doubled tonight and scored the Royals' only run in the single by Perez. We checked to swing low. Did not go. Cracks that one sharply to right field. So Haas is 2 for 3, and the Royals have the tying run at first base for Salvador Perez, who is 2 for 2 tonight.
Sanchez will give you something to hit. You got to wait him out. Hosmer stayed on top of that cookie. That was a ball right down the middle. Hands rolled just a little bit on contact. That's why he couldn't get it elevated, but found a hole.
Perez wants to see one up. Sanchez good at keeping it low, and he does here, trying to entice Perez to hit into a double play. But Eric Hosmer now with an 11-game hit streak, over 400 in that time, hitting .429, 8 walks, 6 extra base hits, including 1 tonight. And they're having Castellanos guard the line. They don't want Perez to get a double down the line, so they'll give up a single to left field. Little room between Suarez and the third baseman Castellanos, as you see here. Salvi goes foul line to foul line, but a lot of his power this year and last has been to left field.
Sanchez didn't want that up there. So he looked away quickly, going, "Ooh, man, you let go of one up there." Salvi, his eyes lit up, but he knew it was a little too high.
Perez leads the team in home runs with 11. His last won the game over Tampa Bay in the 9th. Hosmer 3 steals this year. Look at Cabrera. He kind of hit him with his shoulder. Straight back our way.
Just missed it.
They continue to talk over at first base, and Salvador pops it up. That'll stay in play, and Cabrera will make the catch for the second out. Let's go to Joel.
Oh, guys, our Jeep drive of the game coming last night. Billy Butler had gone 88 at-bats without a home run. And he goes deep last night into, as Hud and Hosmer would say, the hydration station. So nice to see Billy going yard. And that ended up being the interesting thing of the night for him. But it could have been even more interesting if Francisco Bueno was unable to get out of his last inning pitching, and we know it was a blowout. Billy Butler was coming into this game. Ned Yost had him warming up in the tunnel, and I asked Billy today, I said, what's your pitching arsenal? He's wanted to pitch for years, and he did in high school. And he said, the manager, the skipper told me anything that wasn't straight was going to get my butt kicked. He said I was supposed to just throw 4-seam fastballs. He said, but I probably would have mixed in a 2-seamer because these are professional hitters here, and I don't want them to kill me out there. I said, so what's the velocity? And he said, I don't know. In high school it was 94. It was not going to be 94, he said last night.
Well, Billy grounds out, and Sanchez continues his magic against Kansas City. Career ERA of 1.04. Pitch an excellent ball game, but he trails 2-1 because of one of his mistakes. Tried to pick off Rajai Davis at second base in the third inning, and it clipped in between Infante and Davis. Rajai went to third. The next batter, Cabrera, hit the sacrifice fly, and that is why we are not still tied at 1. Danny's line very strong. As you take a look at it, he has gone 6 innings, has not walked a batter, and that is key. And Rex, I say that because from the beginning of his career through last year, he averaged close to 5 walks per 9 innings, and he's lowered that dramatically this season.
He's figuring it out. Doesn't have to be hard, and harder. Less is more.
He's averaging just above 3 walks per 9 innings this year. Castellanos has been a marvelous addition as a rookie this year. He has shown both power and a high average.
Oh, they know he's going to hit. There were some questions about his fielding. They weren't sure how he'd be able to handle third base. And just being down here with the people in the Diamond Club area, down low, getting a good idea how he can come in on a ball. He's got good lateral movement and extremely soft hands. This game would be tied had he not reached up and robbed Dyson and doubled up Infante at second base.
Ouch. And he comes too far inside and hits Castellanos. Not the way Danny wanted to start this 7th inning.
That's pretty close to the knee. Ooh, got him in the shin, just under the knee.
And Ned Yost coming out. The Royals did have a right-hander warming up in their bullpen. Danny has thrown a lot of pitches over 100, and they wanted to make sure they took care of this young left-hander this year, and Ned will make the move immediately. And Danny continues to be frustrated, but the Royals will go to Kelvin Herrera. He threw 99 pitches, hit the final batter, Castellanos, to lead off the 7th inning. And he's still angry with himself for hitting Nick. But part of his misfortune, Rex, is he's been matched up with Anibal Sanchez, who has amazing numbers against the Royals.
I got a feeling one of his offensive teammates is going to pick him up tonight.
Well, back on June 19th, he lost to Sanchez 2-1. And went 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits, walked 1, struck out 5. He was hurt because Cabrera doubled to tie the game, and then J.D. Martinez broke it with the home run. And Sanchez and his bullpen did the rest. Now Kelvin Herrera. He made his first appearance in 9 days on Wednesday at Tampa Bay, loading the bases in the 6th before exiting with 2 away. Suarez, the batter. He goes right after him for strike 1.
Herrera's done a great job out of Ned's bullpen, stranding the last 12 base runners that he's inherited coming in. And he's kept the ball in the yard all year.
And Herrera hits Suarez. The Royals cannot give this great Detroit team opportunities like this. Freebies, whether they're walks or hit batters. Now you've got Holiday coming up, likely in a bunting situation.
Come on, Rex.
96 miles an hour on the shoulder of Suarez, and Holiday, the batter. And both corners are in. Hosmer at first and Moustakas at third. Well, it's tough to bunt a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, and Herrera has that. And the first one's popped up foul, and it goes all the way back to the screen. Moose and Perez both hustled after it.
Better believe it. That's why you trust a guy to swing the bat on a hard thrower like Herrera, because you pop the ball up more times than not, because fastball is coming in a bunt situation, because pitchers and catchers know it's the hardest pitch to bunt. If a breaking ball was the hardest pitch to bunt, they would be throwing that in this situation, but it's not. A breaking ball goes down and it actually helps the hitter bunt the top half of the ball. Jam him hard, come in on him.
He does get it down, and it's a beauty. Only play first base. Holiday is out. Boy, they have not made many mistakes. The Royals have made 3. They've hit 2 batters, and obviously the error that led to Detroit's second run.
Castellano, he's still ailing from that Duffy shin burger he gave him. I can tell by his look. He's grimacing, and he had to slide. Now, why you would throw a changeup belt high there when we just explained the fastball, I don't know, but that's the reason he got that down. 88 is much easier to bunt than 98. Bad call there, whoever called that pitch in that situation.
That's not like Salvador Perez.
Try to bunt that right there. It's a whole different story. You're going to pop it up. Now let's see Castellano sliding on that shin. They got hit. Ouch. Might have to get some ice on that after the game.
Infield in for Davis, who is 1 for 2. 2/3. Moustakas is coming home, and they got him out at home.
Good play. This is the only play Moose really had, and he needed to take this play. He could have got him at first, but you got to get the run here. It's getting late. You can't let him have another one. Castellano wasn't going to dare slide on that leg. Plus, there's no more collisions at home plate anymore in baseball.
Now Herrera must get the guy who the Royals have been unable to get out tonight. That is Austin Jackson, who is 3 for 3, a double and a pair of singles. He has not done well this year with runners in scoring position. Only 24 RBIs. Runner goes. They will not even attempt to throw, as the Royals didn't even break Infante or Escobar.
In case you've been on the other side of the world for the first 3 months of this baseball season and didn't realize it, the catchers cannot block the plate, and sliding base runners cannot barrel catchers over anymore. New rule in Major League Baseball.
Oh, and 2.
Herrera has what it takes to be a back end guy because of the strong power he gets in that fastball. Managers love to have guys that can blow that ball by you.
Outside corner, strike 3 called. Inning over. Great job by Herrera.
things over with Jeremy Guthrie. 2-1 the score. Tickets for Less has the best selection of Royal seats at Kauffman Stadium. Seats behind the dugout, Diamond Club, or even Crown seats. For a limited time, go to ticketsforless.com, enter the code word Joel, and receive a nice discount on tickets to all Royals games. Tickets for Less has been a trusted local business for over 10 years in Overland Park on 135th. Check out ticketsforless.com for all your Royals needs. And I know you guys down there right now being very well taken care of. HUD locale?
Absolutely not.
You got to try to eat and talk at the same time.
No, it is a full-on. You don't get an opportunity like you, Goldie. You're out here every night. This is our first night out here. Getting cuisine like this, we're in hog heaven.
Yeah, I'd tell you to share that with Biz, but he's not allowed.
Oh. Moustakas with a drive. Left center field. Oh. He winds up at second base with a lead-off double. Moose made a nice play to throw a runner out at home, and now starts the Royals half of the seventh well.
Moose showing a little bit of opposite field pop there. I was busy eating my nice little dessert, and I heard this loud noise. I had to look up. There it was, Moose hitting that outside pitch, driving it just like that. Now, if he tries to pull it, he'll pop it up.
That's why you love that shot by Moustakas. We saw that a lot during spring training, going to the opposite field.
It'll let you know that is beautiful stroke. Love that Phantom Cam, seeing Moose's forearms sweating and glistening with those nice follow through on the swing. Loved it. Now they got to do something with it as the crowd's starting to get into it.
Castellanos in at third. A lot of room between the shortstop and third baseman. Infante sends it to the shortstop. He looks to third, goes to first. So Infante at least moves Moustakas to third base. Good base running by Moose.
Heck, that was all Moustakas right there. He read that on contact. Moose is a much improved base runner this season. I think that's part of the maturation of him, understanding the game of baseball, the way you play it. And he advanced on a bit right there on contact. That's good instincts. Now they had a shot at him, but Suarez didn't want to take the chance of throwing it away. Now Dyson, look for something up, get a sac fly, tie this thing up. There it was. I hope he catches it.
Stay in play. It will not.
Good try.
The Royals have never scored more than one run in a game that Sanchez has pitched. Now they have beaten him twice, but they shut out the Tigers 1-0 in each of his two losses to Kansas City. He allowed one in the first, none since. Great opportunity here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Would Dyson think of bunting? Both corners came creeping in, and the fastball wanders outside for a ball, a 1-1 count. Well, if he didn't show it there, I don't think he'll bunt. He does have 7 bunt hits this year.
Elevation. Look up. Now with the infield in, Dyson stay on top of the ball. He could shoot one on the ground just as easy.
Low, and a good block by Holiday. Tigers 2 runs, 5 hits. Royals 1 run, 8 hits. Moustakas doubled, went to third on the ground out. Outside corner, 2 balls, 2 strikes. He has scored that runner 4 out of 7 times from third base with less than 2 outs this year. And the major league average you saw at 52%. Man,
just caught the corner.
Perfectly located. Another good block by Holiday.
That was an excellent block. After that first pitch that Dyson almost hit it in play enough to get the sac flies home. Now Sanchez is staying down.
He has struck out 3 Royals. He has a full count with a guy who's pretty much a walking double.
Okay, go with that fastball right up the middle. Right back to the pitcher.
Right at the shortstop. Look at that play by the rookie Suarez. Are you kidding me?
That ball was by him.
He was called up because he was a good hit, lesser fielding shortstop, and he has played remarkable in this series. Oh, my.
That ball was by him. And the way he turned his glove. That's how he turns his glove. He didn't backhand it. He kept his glove open. Stayed with it. Now, good hands people play up the middle, no question, but that's some really soft hands. And even Omar Vizquel, 30-time Gold Glove winner.
Now they need a clutch hit from Escobar.
He liked it. Now, he was just signaling Castellano he could bunt that ball, so be alive. What a great play on defense.
Oh, terrible pitch by Escobar. Really fooled on one that was not a strike. Koch and Albuquerque have been warming in the Detroit bullpen. Koch the left-hander, Albuquerque the right-hander. And Suarez throw right on the money. The Royals turn back, and they have not hit well with runners in scoring position tonight.
Friday night action, and the Indians hang on and win 7-4. Toronto and Tampa tied at 5. Angels out to an early lead against struggling Texas, and Colorado all over Minnesota behind Troy Tulowitzki. Our Mazda game break takes us down to St. Petersburg. Mark Burley had only given up 2 runs in 5 innings, but Dustin McGowan allows this 3-run homer to Sean Rodriguez, and that leads to this score, 5-5, tied between the American League East competitors. And now we've got a little situation out at the mound. Aaron Crow was warming up to come into this game to replace Kelvin Herrera, and now Nick Kenny coming up. Hopefully just a string issue. That's good, Hud. Got the trainer out there, Nick Kenny.
Yeah, I wonder if that complaint came from Ian Kinsler.
You never know. Look, it's up to the umpire. If he wants to go out and do it, if the hitter says something, sometimes the umpire say, you know what, just play on, don't worry about it. So it's all up to the umpire, no big deal. It's like getting a haircut.
That's about the best time you could ever see a trainer coming out, huh?
Got to believe that, Joel.
Particularly with what's happened to the Royals lately, losing Vargas, losing Gordon.
Yeah, that one string on his pinky finger, that's sometimes it can be distracting. And if it's enough for a hitter to say something or somebody else, then, you know, umpire's going to do something about it.
Aaron Crow pitching in his 42nd game this year. Solid ERA, and he comes over the top and delivers an off-speed pitch immediately. A swing and a miss from Kinsler for strike one. Ian has singled a drive in the first run, struck out in the third, and popped up in the fifth. Aaron made a second straight appearance on Wednesday, entering the 8th inning with Tampa Bay leading 4-2. He allowed a single and 2 walks, all with 2 away, then retired Logan Forsythe to escape unscathed. Right side, Infante has it and throws him out.
You know, that last inning, the Royals had a chance to tie the game. Gerard Dyson hit the ball hard, but scouts have clocked him at 3.2 seconds down the line when he wants to run. But watching this night after night on balls that he hits right at people, to me, that's unexplainable. I can't believe he does that. If you run hard every time you make contact on the baseball, you develop a great reputation. And one that the defense says, oh my gosh, here he comes. He's going to be giving an effort. I got to get rid of the ball. But word gets around the league that on routine balls, he doesn't run. And here's a good example. If he runs all the way out of that box, he might have beat that out.
Or forced a bad throw.
Exactly.
Miguel Cabrera is up. The Royals have, for the most part, been able to keep him quiet, but he had one huge at bat in the 3rd inning, and it came after the Duffy error that allowed Davis to get to third base, and he just had a nice, easy, smooth swing and hit a sacrifice fly to Lorenzo Cain and drove in the run that gave the Tigers their current 2-1 lead. Now he's given the Diamond Club fans a souvenir. Rex and I have been broadcasting tonight from the Diamond Club, and this is absolutely a fantastic area, because when you're here you get exclusive access to the Diamond Club lounge, great seats, and there's a fly ball struck to center, and Dyson will take care of it. That's 2 out. How about our AT&T fan photo tonight? It comes from Owen the kitty, Owen the bear.
That's one of the best shots all year.
That is outstanding. Way to go, Owen.
I hope my kids don't see that. They'll want one.
So 2 out in the 8th inning, and here's J.D. Martinez, who struck out 3 times facing Danny Duffy. Duffy pitched extremely well, going 6 innings, and gave up 2 runs. The Royals will have the top of the order coming up in the 8th. Aoki, Kane, and Hosmer. Jabba Chamberlain has been throwing for Detroit. He's been their 8th inning guy this year, and Anibal Sanchez is over that 90 pitch mark, so he has probably more in his tank, but he has not gone more than 7 this year. In there, strike 3 called. Beautiful pitch by Crow. He gets the Tigers 1-2-3 in the 8th.
It's that slider ball. Beauty.
Royals baseball is brought to you by Ram. It's summer and great deals are heating up at the Ram Summer Clearance event today. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price every day. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you in the Kia Diamond Club tonight. Outstanding crowd on hand, hoping the Royals can come from behind and even this series at 1 win each. Jabba Chamberlain comes out of the hut, and he will face the Royals top of the order, and Aoki, Kane, and Hosmer. He has really pitched well recently with a 1.71 ERA and 17 strikeouts over his last 23 outings. His career at the K, pretty strong. That means the top three must change that. Aoki 1 for 3, a double to right field, and he's grounded out twice. He doubled with 1 out, but Kane flied to left and Hosmer grounded out.
Jabba 92-96 with his fastball. Oh, nice.
Aoki first pitch swinging, base hit.
That's what you do. Now he's a setup guy that's going to throw you a slider, curve, and a change. You never know. He's got all those pitches, but he's mainly fastball, slider. And Aoki, he was ready to go. That's what you do. Look for that first pitch fastball. Most pitchers, 90% of the time when they lead off an inning, a pitcher going to try to get strike 1 with that heater. He was ready. Nice batting.
Lorenzo Cain looking for his first hit in this series, 0 for 8. Grounded after short last time. We have not seen the Royals put on a hit and run lately. And they send Aoki, and the ball goes into center field. Aoki's going to third.
No, but they're calling it off.
Oh,
yeah. No.
Cain.
Interference.
Cain interfered.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Ned will complain, but wow.
What a bummer.
All the breaks. They played great baseball, but they're also getting a lot of breaks. And Ned saying, Lorenzo, that's a shame.
Well, let's see if he did fall into Holiday's.
Not at all.
Well, that angle was hard to tell.
We've seen that so many times this year.
But he called it right away. Home plate umpire.
Oh, man. There was one earlier this year where the batter fell completely across home plate, and Salvador Perez had to throw over him, and it wasn't called.
Well, it's the umpire's discretion.
I know.
Every umpire is different.
And Cain is out. Every break going Detroit's way.
And he didn't, but since he called it automatically, that tells me that in Chad Fairchild's mind, it was interference. So it wasn't like he delayed it or anything and saw how the play unfolded. He called it automatically, and he can do that because he has the keys to the house.
You're exactly right, Hud. It's still his fortune smiling on Detroit. Tigers are not a team you can make mistakes with. The Royals have made them tonight with the air. They also hit 2 batters, but very fortunately, the Royals were able to get out of a jam that Herrera got them into in the 7th. Here is Hosmer taking a good breaking ball in there.
I don't know if you can categorize that as a mistake or not. That's just an umpire that was looking for a call.
I'm saying it's fortune smiling on one team because we've seen that play not called.
I agree. But then you can undo that with a big hit.
You got that right.
And the right man's in the right spot.
Well, the right man might be up there here. We promised you earlier to show you Miller time, and Hosmer has picked up 2 base hits in this game, 1 a double, 1 a single. He homered last night. Way inside. 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Salvador Perez is waiting his turn on deck.
Job of being extremely careful here, and he needs to be. Wind still pushing out, not that Hosmer needs it.
And he cracks it right. His 3rd hit of the game. Aoki can only make it to second base because Haas hit it so hard. Well, Kane's still angry at the umpire for calling him out.
There's that little overhand breaker. Might have been a little slider. But like I said, when you're hot and you're seeing the ball well, anything out over the middle of the plate is going to get hit hard. And that's the kind of zone that Hosmer's in right now.
It's great to see him really begin to pick things up because he's desperately needed by this Royals offense. And Jabba Chamberlain will remain in the game as the pitching coach came out to visit with not only Jabba but the entire infield. It will be Salvador Perez, and Salvi won the game 2 nights ago in the 9th inning. He comes up in a similar situation, 2 on in the 8th inning. His home run beat the Rays in the 9th. Tying run second, go ahead first. Jackson will get there. 2 out.
Salvi a little bit anxious. Jabba wasn't going to give him a first pitch fastball, so he gave him a breaking ball, and Salvi tried to do more with it than just shoot it up the middle for a base hit. Now see if Billy can come through.
That's a pitcher's pitch.
Yep, not his.
Well, Billy Butler, it took him almost 2 weeks to get an RBI, but he got one last night, a fastball up, and hit his first home run since the middle of June. Strike 1. Billy did not like the call. He thought it was a bit high.
0 for 5 Billy is off of Jabba in his career, and perfect time to change that.
Jeez. Just grazing the corner.
Fairchild seems like he's calling the ball the Tigers' way now. Obviously not on purpose, but that's the way it's going.
Billy chases a bad ball. And because of that, with an 0-2 count, they won't throw him a strike, I believe, until it's at least a 2-2 count. Jabba does, he's made a mistake. Billy to right center. Jackson, though, will run it down, and the inning is over. Chamberlain made a mistake, but the Royals also made one in the inning, and Kane's interference cost KC. Tigers last night, and they trail in a close one tonight, 2-1. And there have been some key plays in this game. Castellanos reaching up when one was twisting away for him, but this was the costliest. The error on the throw by Duffy on a pickoff. It got Davis to third base. He scored on a sacrifice fly. Then the sensational play by Suarez to throw out Dyson and keep the Royals quiet. But the interference, that was a crucial play, crucial call by that man, Chad Fairchild. It cost the Royals perhaps the run that would have tied the game. And Kane still steaming, and now he is in the outfield and right as Wade Davis will try and keep the Tigers quiet in the top of the inning. And the Royals, bottom of the order, will bat in the bottom of this inning. Ball one. Hunter 0 for 3 with a strikeout, flyout, and ground out. And then Davis hammers that 95 on the outside corner. Torrey expecting fastball, but got one at 96. Wade has that exceptional cutter that he likes to throw down and away to right-handed batters. The Royals fans still believe. He stays with the heater and strikes him out at 97 miles an hour.
Once Davis shows you that nice little curveball he's got, and the cutter gets the hitter thinking, and then he goes to the four-seamer, and by that time he blows you away. Now there's his curveball grip. See, that's the pitch there that's really keeping him off his fastball. He's going to snap down with that maybe, and it's got a nice little foot break to it. Foot to foot and a half sometimes, depending on what kind of velocity he puts on it. But that heater is his baby. That's his bread and butter, that 96 to 97 there. Cutter's a tough pitch for a hitter to lay off of as well.
Castellanos is 0 for 2, but he was hit by a pitch. Ground ball, deep third. Moustakas got him. Nice play.
That's it. Wade Davis come in and get these guys out, keep that momentum on the Royals side. Even though they didn't score a run last inning, they have the momentum and they have the crowd behind them. So this is going to be a big finish for them. If Wade Davis can just finish this off here, they'll see Joe Nathan. And you want to beat the best, you got to beat their best.
Suarez is 0 for 2. That was a critical moment of the game. Herrera hit Suarez, and the Tigers had the first two batters on in the 7th inning. Holiday would sacrifice them to second and third, but Moustakas made a nice play to get the man at the plate, and Jackson struck out looking. Suarez down in the count 0-2.
So, did you see that first pitch? Curveball to Suarez. Nobody hits that pitch, not even Miguel Cabrera. And then he follows up with that pitch there, a fastball, and you got no chance.
There's that little cutter at 91. He stayed with the same pitch, and Suarez, good discipline. It's a 2-2 count. think it might be dead red right here. It is, and he pops it up right side. Lorenzo Cain near the foul line. Davis with a 1-2-3 ninth inning, and here we go. Joe Nathan will face Mike Moustakas, Omar Infante, Dyson, or a pinch hitter. We'll be right back. Right, telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Royals. Great crowd on hand, and Boulevard Royals Live will be coming your way immediately after the game. You'll get a chance to listen to Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery break it down, and hopefully they'll be breaking down a Royal comeback. Bottom of the ninth inning.
Castellano coming out of the game. Kelly in at third base. We'll see. Joe Nathan, he's blown some saves this year, so it's possible. He's got a fastball, slider, curve, and a change. He's a closer that's not overpowering, but he'll use any particular pitch at any time. Has made some adjustments recently that has got his ball sinking more and having some more movement. And that's by not over the top as much. He's dropped it down a little bit more, 3/4.
Still a 5.79 ERA and 5 blown saves this year. He's a veteran. Will turn 40 in November. Right on the inside corner at 92. Bad on the road. Hope it continues at the K. Royals trying to beat the Tigers for the first time in this ballpark this year. Two balls and one strike.
That second pitch was a fastball on the inside part of the plate. That's where Moose wants it. And if he gets it there again, that's his pitch to jump the yard, tie it up.
He had a ringing double in the 7th, but the Royals left him stranded at third. And he had a good swing on that pitch, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Moose doubled into the left center field gap. The next 3 batters hit ground balls to short. Suarez made a remarkable play on Dyson's grounder. First baseman Cabrera will take it. 1 out. Now it's Omar Infante right now, and Gerard Dyson has moved to the on-deck circle. I thought they might go with Raul Ibanez to try and get one swing and perhaps pop one out. But we'll see. The Royals do not have really much in the name of pinch running available because Alex Gordon not available in this game because of the wrist injury. And one lone infielder is Danny Valencia.
Royals have out-hit the Tigers 10 hits to their only 5 hits and just couldn't buy any breaks earlier. Still 2 outs to go.
20 runs scored last night, 3 tonight. Low and in, 3 balls, no strikes. A strike thrown, and it's now a 3-1 count to Omar. He had that huge series back at Comerica facing his old team and drove in 8 runs in 4 games. That'll work. Royal fans have their rally caps on, and the Royals will stay with Gerard Dyson here.
Now, Dyson will be tough to double up in this situation. Got to stay on top of the ball, and you never know. Outfield shallow. They're playing him in. He hits a gap. It's good to be tied up.
One ball, no strikes. Dyson takes a rip and evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers scored first in the first inning on a double by Jackson and a single off Kinsler. Duffy kept him quiet until the 3rd, when his error allowed Davis to get to 3rd, and Cabrera knocked him in with a sacrifice fly. The Royals had tied it previously in the first on a double by Hosmer and a single by Perez, but they've left 7 stranded.
The only chance Infante goes is on a hit and run, and we haven't seen a whole lot of that, so I doubt he's moving.
Dyson takes a rip, and now he's down in the count 1-2. Joe Nathan has that strikeout curveball that he likes to go with. His velocity obviously is down at the age of 39, but still his ability to locate in the high 80s, low 90s is very good. Another terrific block by Holiday. We've seen that throughout this evening. He is a fine defender. Played his college baseball at TCU and was drafted by the Tigers in the 10th round in 2010, backing up Alex Avila.
Dyson being able to lay off those breaking balls. Actually, Nathan doing him a favor by keeping the ball down on him. He's going to find a lane. Maybe go first to third.
Infante goes. The pitch is taken, and he steals second base. It's a 3-2 count.
There you go. You're down a run in the 9th inning. Got to try to do something.
Well, Omar got a great break. He kept on reading Nathan, and he broke so early.
And that's the advantage that a guy has not getting a big lead. You know, he's a 10-year veteran. They're over there on the other side saying he's not running. So he had a short lead. And then when he picked the steal, he got a little bigger lead, but a better jump. And he stayed low, and he knew the importance of getting this bag. Staying low when you come out of that stealing position is important. You keep your speed staying low. Now he's in scoring position. 3-2. Dyson has got to be able to try to focus on his pitch. Doesn't have to be the hero. Escobar's on deck, even though they're looking for a hero.
Ball 4. He's given up a hit, a stolen base, a walk. Escobar up, Aoki in the on-deck circle. And Ned Yost has that left-handed trump card still waiting, and Raul Ibanez, the veteran.
Joe Nathan not looking real comfortable.
Yeah, Jeff Jones came out earlier to talk with Java Chamberlain about the way they wanted to handle Salvador Perez, and he got the pop-up and then the fly-out, and now Jones leaves the conversation to the veteran Joe Nathan. He's a guy who has over 350 saves in his career. And trying to nail this one down. The Royals trying to hand him his 6th blown save, and Escobar is 1 for 3. Twice he is grounded out to short. He also singled to left field. Good speed at second, great speed at first. If Escobar can gap one.
That's right. Stay short to the ball. Don't try to hit a big 3-run homer, but stay short. Shoot the gap.
Ball 1. Esky has faced Nathan 7 times in the past and has 2 hits.
Tigers at double play depth. Nathan exhaling, trying to relax to execute a pitch.
Two balls and no strikes. Esky knows that Nathan has to be a little more aggressive.
Don Kelly, third baseman, even with the bag. Looks like Nathan's trying to pitch Escobar inside. Esky gets him a pitch on that inner half. It could be double city down that line.
Back our way.
He had a rip.
Another strike and a 2-2 count. Perfectly located low inside corner.
That's a good spot. Escobar knows he's trying to pitch him inside. You've got to be looking in there. Now here could be a different story. 2-2 might try to get him with something soft away. But Escobar again, he'll dump it to right. Infante's got to be able to get a good break to score.
Martinez with a good arm and right. He tried to check his swing but went.
That was, he went soft away. He couldn't check it. Making Nathan sweat. But they need to make him sweat even more. Aoki's going to have to be the guy.
He has 2 hits in this game, 1 a double, 1 a single. He has just 14 RBIs this year, and Holiday coming out for a visit to talk about how they want to work the left-handed batter. Ned Yost has the option. He has 3 players available: Hayes, Valencia, and Ibanez, the other left-handed bat.
Yeah, a big hit for confidence would be all Aoki needs. Spending time on the disabled list. Down to the minor leagues, first day back, got a couple of hits. He's already going good. He wants to continue it.
He swung at the first pitch in the 8th from Jabba Chamberlain and singled to center field. Will he go after the first pitch from Joe Nathan?
Nobody near Infante.
Ball 1.
Infante can get a big secondary lead. And that's called the lead after the pitch.
Two balls and no strikes. He fell behind Escobar 2-0, then came back to strike him out.
Got the right man in the right spot on deck if it gets that far. Lorenzo Cain. 368 hitter with a runner in scoring position. Aoki not too shabby at 254.
2-1.
Oh, it's just a little bit up, but Infante ready to go on the swing.
Yeah, he was looking right in. He saw that was a good pitch to hit.
And Aoki is not a power threat, so that's a pretty good location for Nathan. He might want to try to stay up there again with one. Get him to fly out. Anything down, he can find a hole.
3-1. Nathan's next pitch will be his 26th in this 9th inning. Three and 2.
It's not a bad take there. 3-1. He made him throw a strike. He's got to do it again. That's Aoki's pitch, really. He likes it there.
That's the worry, Hud. Will he see another one as good? Detroit has taken the first two games of this series, one by 16-4, the other by 2-1, as the Royals left 9 runners stranded. We'll come back and wrap it up right